Okay, there we go.
Awesome. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the fourth trimester ecosystem lunchtime conversation for January. I know it's a new year. My children keep telling me that I need to take down the Christmas tree and be ready for the new year. I'm not ready, but it is a new year and we have quite a bit of news with fourth trimester Arizona. So I'm really excited to share that with you this morning. We have lots of fun things that are going on, and I want to also take you guys on a little tour of our website because we've changed that a little bit recently, and hopefully it's a little easier to navigate. If you are joining us on the Zoom call, if you want to put your name in the chat and where you're from and maybe how you're doing this morning, that'd be awesome. And to everyone in Facebook land, hello, good morning. I am the CEO of Fourth Trimester Arizona, a grassroots 501c3 collaborative of parents, families, health professionals, educators, and local organizations. We are on a mission to change the culture of parenting so no one has to do it alone. Thank you for joining us today for our seventh Fourth Trimester Ecosystem Summit and our seventh Fourth Trimester Ecosystem it's January, take a deep breath. Lunchtime conversation and our first of the new year. So for those of you who may be less familiar with Fourth Trimester Arizona, just a little background, we connect healthcare providers, social support systems, and parent support groups with collaboration, education, and access to local resources. Our programming has three main components. Our monthly village gathering, where right now we have 4 villages happening in different regions of the state. These are all online, so anyone can join from anywhere. Our annual conference, which depending on the year has up to 400 attendees. And this is for parents and anyone who supports new families. And our ecosystem initiative with our monthly lunchtime conversations, which you're joining right now, and also our ecosystem summit. And our first one happened in 2021. Just some group norms for the Zoom call. Please post all comments and questions in the chat until we get to the discussion time. We'll monitor this to answer questions, address comments, and provide discussion. Please remain muted until we get to the part where we will be talking more, and enable your video when you are talking. But if you're experiencing bandwidth issues, no worries. Or if you are in bed, also no worries. And we will record this presentation for viewing after the session. So I wanted to start today just with a little tour of our website in a way. And so I'm going to start with some of the stuff that's on there, and then I may actually pop on there to navigate so you can kind of see what we're doing. But one of the things that we have put up recently that I think is really helpful is a really big link to our villages. And our fourth trimester villages are the monthly gatherings that we have in 4 different regions of the state. And you can see here on our page, you can navigate to our Facebook, our Instagram, or our Facebook group from here, and also to register for the different villages. So the West Valley, the Central, which is our Mesa Village, our East Valley Village, and our Tucson Village. And they all meet different days of the month. We have one each week of the month so far. And so that's helpful. And you don't need to be from that regional area in order to join that village, thanks to our online presence. But generally, we bring in resources and support to those villages from those regions. So if you are in a West Valley village, you may hear from a mental health provider who is in the West Valley. If you are in the East Valley, you may hear from a pelvic floor therapist who's in the East Valley. And if you're in Tucson, you may hear from a pediatrician in Tucson. And that's really intentional on our part to make sure that families in those areas know what resources are available to them. And we are so blessed to have the support of Vitalist Health Foundation really to run these villages. If you look up in the upper right-hand corner, if you want to go to our website and take a look, this is a QR code. I will freely admit I did not make this. Someone else who's way smarter than me did. But that can help take you to our calendar where you can look at the villages and register. The different types of things that we have at our villages, if you haven't been watching, which many of you have, I'm sure, are things around mental health, physical health, movement, all these different things that really lead toward better health for new parents, and also those of us who might be a little further into our parenting journey. I know every time that we talk about pelvic floor health, I remember that no one ever talked to me about it, even though I have a 7-year-old. So these aren't just for the brand new parents, they're for parents of any age and also those who support them. We have some news, and this is one of the ones I am very excited to share. Thanks to a grant from the ASU College of Health Solutions, their Transcend program in maternal child health nutrition. We are so excited to offer a Black Parent Support Village in 2022. And this is a collaboration with the Arizona Birth Workers of Color. And the Birth Workers of Color will be deciding on topics and speakers for this village and really will lead it. And I'm just so thrilled that we got funding and that the Birth Workers of Color really wanted to collaborate on this. This was a request from the community and also a need that we hope to be able to fill. And I'm really excited to see where this goes because we have some amazing people who are working on this. Okay. In addition, in 2022, we will be starting our Spanish-speaking support village, so our Pueblo Español. And this is being funded by Postpartum Support International. They give us a community grant, which is awesome. And it not only funds this village, it will also fund Spanish interpretation for our 2022 conference in April, as well as translation services for that particular conference and for our website. So it's a huge deal for us, actually. And this particular request has been made over and over and over again. And so we were so delighted to receive the funding from PSI. They're an amazing organization, and I'm so glad that we're going to be able to provide this. So along with that news, I wanted to share that we are hiring right now. We are still interviewing for the leader of our Pueblo Español, our Spanish-speaking support village. So if you are interested in it, or if you know someone who is interested in leading this monthly village, it's about 10 to 12 hours a month. And it'll involve, having a lot of empathetic support for new parents, as well as reaching out to the community, seeking out speakers, and really creating that village feel for that particular group. And the Spanish-speaking village and the Black Parent Support Village are open to the entire state. So that was actually very intentional as well. We know that just because you speak Spanish or you're a Black parent doesn't mean you're in a particular region. And so this was really intentional on our part to make this available to everyone. And thanks to online, we can do that. We're also seeking a leader for the West Valley Village. This would be a similar role where you would be leading the group about 10 to 12 hours a month. And reaching out to community members to do some of the speaking for this. So if you're interested in that, please contact me. I know we have it up on our LinkedIn as well. If you are interested in that, please reach out. I'm happy to send over the job description. So I also wanted to let you know about additions to our website. So it took me quite a while to figure out how to do YouTube, if I'm being honest. But recently we've done a lot of work adding new sessions that we had recorded to our website. And so if you go to our website and you click on resources, so you see that right here, you will get a link that comes down that says videos. And when you click on videos, what pops up is all of our postpartum modules. And this is not an exhaustive list of all the videos we have, actually. However, we do have quite a few more on here from our 4th trimester conference that happened last year. As you can see, Food is Medicine and Postpartum Support, Who Am I Now is a great one. And there's also another page of some of these videos as well. So most of these are from the conference and the ones above. And we have another playlist that actually has the ones from our summit as well. And I'll talk about that in a sec. So if you attended the Ecosystem Summit, all the videos are in the Whova app still. And so you can access them that way. You can also go to our website, to the Ecosystem Summit link, and go down to the schedule, and they are there as well, linked. And you can go into our YouTube channel, and that's linked from our videos page, and look up this playlist. This has all of the sessions that we we ran during the Ecosystem Summit. And if you haven't seen them, or if you didn't get to see all of them, they were all excellent, honestly. I can't come up with, I can't come up with any that weren't really just totally excellent. So please feel free to share that with your resources locally. The ecosystem work is really meant to bring together all the different providers and supports that really provide that wraparound care to new parents. And so we've really tailored this to those who support new parents as opposed to the parents themselves. And another piece of news, our 4th trimester conference for parents will be happening again this year. Right now we are planning for a fully online conference, which means that people can join us from wherever they are, which is great. It will be on April 23rd, 2022, so a Saturday again. We are hoping to potentially have a small in-person component at some point, depending on how things go with COVID. However, all of the other sessions will be online and available to everyone. We'll be using the Whova app again as well, so that should provide for lots of opportunities for exhibitors and for connections between different families and resources. If you are interested at all in presenting at our conference, we would love to hear about it. We have a presenter interest form, and I will put that in the chat afterwards, and we'll also put this up on the link on the Facebook video. If you're available on the 23rd and you would like to present for us, we would love to have that. Look, I put the link right there, didn't I? Sometimes you look at your slides and you're like, what was I thinking? We would love to have you present. We consider all the abstracts that come in and then build our conference from there. Really, the major piece of presenting at the conference is making sure that the topic is really related to the experience of the parent. So how parents experience parenthood, how they experience physical, mental, and emotional health after the baby is born is really the focus of our conference. In addition, something you may not have noticed on our website is that right at the beginning of the pandemic, we started building resources for parents. And this was actually in response to COVID, because people started wanting to know how to find this and how to find that, how to find food, how to find housing, how to find healthcare, and how to find mental health resources, how to find out-of-hospital birth, a lot of those different things that people were looking for right at the beginning of the pandemic. And so we brought together some of our contacts in the community to begin building this. It's definitely not an exhaustive list. However, I think that there are a lot of really great resources on here. One of the things that I'm really proud of is the listing of mental health resources that we have. One of the things that is a positive about the pandemic is that most of the mental health resources went digital, so people can access them from wherever they are statewide. And so we've got a variety of those listed specific to perinatal mental health, the first 4 or 5 on here. And so if you are seeking someone to help a patient of yours or someone that you know, these are great resources, and some of them have support groups as well. I know PSI has support groups online, and so does Women's Health Innovations. And this is brand new news, but at the very end of 2021, 4th Trimester Arizona was selected as a partner in the Lullaby Project. And the Lullaby Project is a project out of Carnegie Hall in New York. You know, that big place where people play piano and everything else and have concerts. They have been doing this for several years and have people all over the world who are participating in this Lullaby Project. And the goal of this project is to bring together new families, new parents with musicians and composers to compose a song, a lullaby for their children. And we're just so delighted to be part of this. And we'll work together with local musicians and composers and Arizona families to help them build their own lullabies for their children. And we really feel like this is a very healing thing for many of us in this pandemic time when we've been so pulled apart. And we're really excited to bring it to families to help them reflect and also build those connections and that attachment that we know is so important, but can be much more challenging when we're in the midst of a pandemic, as well as all the anxiety and depression that has caused. So this is one of our super exciting new things that we are going to be announcing on our website pretty soon, but you heard it here first. This is actually the draft of the web page because it's not quite up yet. So I wanted to take a moment and just show you where you can find this stuff on the website. So I'm going to stop sharing and reshare. See if I can get to the right page. Well, I'm going to try that again. Escape. Come on. I might have to actually just go to another page. Sorry, ladies. Tech challenges. Tech challenges as usual. There we go. Okay, so we go here and I'll share my screen again. Okay, so if you head to our website, fourthtrimesteraz.org, you can pop into the first page, and this will tell you a little bit about us, as well as have a video. When you are looking for resources, there's a couple places to find it. So if you're looking for resources for parents, you can go to the villages, and this gives you the links to the monthly village gatherings, as well as our Facebook, our Instagram, and our Facebook group. And the events calendar is linked here as well. So if you're wondering, hey, I want to attend something this week, you can actually go take a look and see what's going on. And you'll see that we have villages happening the next couple of weeks, depending on which region. If you are a professional, you can pop over to the ecosystem spot and look at the ecosystem, which talks about what it is and why we're doing it. You can click on the link for the monthly lunchtime conversations. You can also go to the summit itself, and you can find actually the links for those videos there. So if you go down to the event schedule, the recorded videos are actually linked here as well as on YouTube. So if you're interested in accessing those from there, and then the lunchtime conversations themselves, oops, there is a live link to our YouTube playlist for the lunchtime conversation. So if you missed any of them, you can find them there. Also under resources and videos, this is where you can find the postpartum modules probably most easily, and our YouTube channel. The ones on the top are the ones from our 2020 conference, which were all really good. And we can dream about being in person again, right? But as you get down further, you'll see the ones that have been posted since then, and these are from 2021. A few of them are from our community gatherings, and the rest of them are from the conference, and we'll be adding more and more as the week goes on. That's on my list of things to get all the way up. The COVID-19 list is there as well, and so you can take a look at that if you're looking for any particular resources. We would also love support and help. Sorry about that, I went to the wrong spot. As we are building this resource list, because for sure it's not exhaustive, and we would love to be able to get more additions to this as we move forward. We know things change, but there are a lot of things that new parents would be, it would be helpful for them to have access to. All right, so I think that is, here we go. That is most of what I wanted to present on the website. So I wanted to take the rest of the time to maybe answer questions that you have, and then hear about what news you have to share. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing. Awesome. Are there any questions? You're welcome to pop them in the chat, or okay, cool. Pop them into the chat, or raise your hand or talk. And thank you everyone who introduced yourselves in the chat. That's awesome. Thank you. Yeah. Hi, Heidi. Good to see you here. Yeah, so hi, Sherry. So if there aren't any questions, and you're welcome to ask them, throughout this time, But if there aren't any questions, if anyone has anything that they would like to share that's going on with their organization or another organization or just some news for 2022, that's kind of the goal of this particular lunchtime conversation. So I just wanted to go ahead and open the floor if anybody has anything they want to talk about.
I just wanted to say, Jenny, how excited I am for fourth trimester. I've kind of known you and been working with you for several years now, and just all these great new things that you've created in fourth trimester, how you're supporting parents. I'm just really excited to hear about all this, and I want to give kudos to you and Sarah and everybody that's working with you, because this is awesome. And I'm just really proud to have worked with you and really excited to continue that journey with you. And I'm excited for fourth trimester. So thank you for all you're doing for the parents. It's totally amazing.
Thank you so much, Sherry. Thank you for all your help too. I know that you've been a big part of our journey. So thank you for all your support and for being part of our East Valley Regional Support Coalition. We love having you be part of that. And yeah, for the level of support you've given us, both inside and outside of being part of First Things First. It's amazing. Thank you. And Heidi, I think you raised your hand. Did I see that?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes I have a double mute, and sometimes one of them doesn't go off, and then I think I'm talking and nobody can hear me. Sorry about
Perfect.
that. I too wanted to just really give you guys a shout out for all the wonderful work you guys are doing in the state. And I think it's really wonderful how you are connecting all the pieces too, because I look at the work from our state level of some of the projects we're working on. And I know when people reach out to me about, well, how do I know how to connect with people? And I'm like, you need to contact Jeannie and contact fourth trimester. They'll be able to help you because you guys know everyone. So if I don't know the answer to something, it's nice to have someone that I know can really connect people with people here in Arizona that actually do the work. So that's a wonderful resource that you've really grown over these last few years too. So I got to go to the last in-person conference, and I was so happy because I think it was the last in-person conference I went to, but the virtual one was wonderful last year too. So I know it'll be wonderful again this year. So we want to continue to support the work you guys are doing. And I don't know if everybody here knows, but we do have a few things. One of the things that I haven't really been able to get out is we do have the post-birth warning signs education that AWAN has. It's not a very expensive course to take, and it's an online one. You can get continuing education credits through it. It's like a half an hour course. It's really good, but we have seats that we've already paid for. So if people want to ever reach out to me, we have plenty of seats right now. So if anybody is just interested in taking it to learn more about the warning signs, I'm happy to give that out to anybody. So, and just I'm so excited about all the work that's going on in the state. It's exciting to see. So.
Thank you, Heidi. Yeah, me too. Yeah, it's super exciting. It's exciting to see what the Department of Health is doing, Maternal Health Innovation is doing. And thank you so much for the kudos. That was, yeah, it warms my heart to hear people say that. So thank you so much. And yes, the post-birth warning signs training, I think that, I really love that the Department of Health is making so much of this available to anyone. And it's not like specific about, you have to be this person or you have to be this kind of provider, because really when we're talking about fourth trimester care, it's about all the people who are around new families, right? It's not about just their OB or just their midwife or even just their doula. It's really anyone. And so having everybody be aware that, if mom has a really bad headache or if she's bleeding a lot, like all of those things, if her friend next door hears, that's a huge thing and may end up in her, heading to a hospital and saving her life. So yeah, that's amazing. And if you want to send us the link again, we'll put that on this video so that people who watch on Facebook can see it too.
Yeah, absolutely. And we did, I know we did an initial small project at the beginning of, I think it was the end of last year, beginning of I don't remember now. Everything's melding together in my mind. But we did a small project with a couple of home visiting programs. And I think one of the first most exciting things was we got a report back from one of our rural areas where a community health worker had gone out, had given the mom the information and some handouts on it. And then after she'd had the baby, she was kind of experiencing some things. She talked to her community health worker, and when she called her doctor, the doctor kind of was like, "Oh, it's no big deal." But she just knew. She just in her gut, she was, and the person she had been working with had told her, trust yourself. If you think something's wrong, something's wrong. And she went to the hospital. She took the little magnet that she had been given and showed it to the ER and was like, "No, something's wrong with me. And this says I need to come here." And they helped her, and they avoided a potential near miss with her. So it was just really wonderful to hear that it actually worked for a mom. I hate that that moms have to advocate so much for themselves, but I'm glad that it worked and that she had the right information. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I will share the information with everybody.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's totally amazing. And that's what we want, right? Like, we want to make sure that we're saving these moms. Oh my goodness. Wow, that's really huge. Thank you so much. And yeah, we will go ahead and share that link on Facebook after the Zoom for sure. Anyone else have anything that they'd like to share, or news, or just talk? Oh, that's wonderful. Emily, I love your background.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to share, we have, we're enrolling for our home visiting programs throughout Maricopa County. We've got openings for families either who are pregnant or have kiddos up to 3 years old. Really trying to do a big push for enrollment. We had a hard time during COVID with outreach and recruitment, just because people weren't going out. So we're really trying to do a big push and try and get some more families for our home visiting program. So if any of y'all work with families, you can refer them to Parent Partners Plus. We have all of the programs like within our network. So like Healthy Families, Early Head Start, Parents as Teachers, Nurse Family Partnership, Health Start. So we will get them to the right program for them. And that's an awesome story about the home visitor sharing that information with the moms, and so that's great.
Thank you, Emily. Yeah, I wish we could have home visitors for every new parent. That's on my dream list.
No, wouldn't that be amazing? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know. We really, and that's why we have this coordinated referral system, is to ideally, have a systematic way of making the most of the resources that we do have, because we don't really have a universal home visiting program, for like everyone, but we do have, openings, so there are opportunities for families. We're not really turning anyone away right now. So
I'm not sure I understand.
Sorry, my watch thinks I'm
Your watch wants to comment. Well, while I have you here, since I know that some people might be interested in referring people to home visitors, could you just give just a little brief thing about some of the things that they might refer for and when? Yeah.
So anyone who's pregnant, if they're having a baby, we want to connect them with home visiting, because they will meet with them, get them connected with whatever, medical resources they need, diapers, car seats, whatever they're needing, or just general support. They'll talk to them about a birth plan. That was something that I remember when I was pregnant. I heard about that and I asked my doctor, and she was kind of like, you don't really need one, and I'm like, oh, okay. But our home visiting programs, they will talk with them about that, and so they can kind of have an idea of what they want. If they have already had their baby, they do developmental screenings for the kiddos, make sure they're meeting their milestones, really just to give parents an idea. Every child's so different. I think even if it's not your first child, like your second one comes along and you're like, okay, well, is this normal? Was my first one, quote unquote normal? Or like, is
Totally.
this normal? So, they'll give them,
Still working through that.
right. I know. So they'll give them an idea of what to expect at each of the different ages and stages, really just as complementary to their regular child visits and everything. Really going more in depth and how can they support their child's development and being intentional in the activities that they're doing with them. Our programs are really great about not being, I feel like, judgmental about people's different, parenting styles, but just providing the resources and information and the evidence for why we might recommend certain things like back to sleep or those kinds of things.
Absolutely. Yeah. I know a lot of people that do home visiting. I'm lucky, and I feel like oftentimes they get to know the family so well that they kind of become part of your family, right? Like when you have a question, that's who you call, as opposed to worrying and those kinds of things. So that's really amazing. I love that.
Yeah, they're great. And they have, some of them are nurses, some of them have a family support specialist title or a parent educator title. Some of them are community health workers. So we have a variety of different folks, different credentials that are doing the home visiting. And that's what we do, is we match families with the best program for them. So my plug, parentpartnersplus.com. Also feel free to reach out to me. I threw my email in the chat earlier. I'm happy to present to any organizations or parent groups or anything like that where you might have families who'd be interested.
That's awesome. Thank you, Emily. And I know, I think Eileen posted in Pima County, the resource for visitation can be found through United Way of Southern Arizona and Nurse Family Partnerships, Parents as Teachers, and many more. Yep, absolutely. It's so nice that we have so many. That's amazing. Awesome. Well, anyone else want to share something that is either new or that they just, would like to share with our fourth trimester ecosystem today?
I like those shirts. But I've been wearing my shirt. It's starting to get a little cracked.
Are you talking about this one or the
yeah, I think it's
yeah. This one is a limited edition.
I just wanted to say those shirts are really cool.
We do have a few left. So if there's anyone who really has a need for the shirt, they actually are really soft. My husband wears them almost every day because he really likes how they feel. And then when he's on Zoom calls, he'll be like, fourth trimester, yeah, I'm wearing my wife's shirt. So he's one of, I don't know, he might not be the only man that's wearing the shirt with the women and the baby on it, but, but he certainly gets a lot of questions. I'm glad you like the shirts. That's great. All right. Well, is there anyone else who has anything they want to share or chat about this time? I think we can probably pop us off of Facebook. If you want to go ahead and do that, Megan.